Welcome to Atheon Analytics Tutorials. In this video we're going to be looking at how to use the table view in Omniscope. Now the table view should seem quite familiar because it looks and feels very much like how we might expect to see data in something like Excel. This is the raw granular level, looking at the line level detail of the data itself. Normally in Omniscope we tend to focus on the visualizations such as the bar charts and the pie charts, and we very rarely use the table view. But in this view we can look at the actual line level detail. The default position for Omniscope 2.6 is to show black text on a white background, but there are options if we would like to add colour to this table to bring greater depth and meaning to it. So we're going to start off by using the colour button along the view toolbar at the top of the screen. So I'm going to tell it now to select all fields and to apply colour. And we can see obviously we have quite a colourful table now. But also more than that, it gives us some meaning to the data and allows us to spot some patterns straight away, even in this granular level view. So for example, in the column subcategory we have a category of data and it's randomly assigned various colours to the different categories in this data, and it helps me just pick them out as I look up and down the list. Where we find numerical data, so such as the column called week number, what it does there is it finds the lowest number and the highest number in that column and colours them from red to green, red being a low number and green being a high number. So again we can spot patterns or anomalies or outliers in the data just by simply seeing colour in there. And when we have yes/no fields, so in this data I have a column which tells me whether these products are fair trade or not, where we have a yes/no field, no is in red and green is in yes. Now all of this is configurable, we can change the colours if we want to. This is just the default position, and as we said, it's helping us spot patterns and meaning in the data very early on. There are various bits of formatting I can do even in this stage in the table view. So for example, if I want to change the order of any columns, just by left clicking, holding the left click down and dragging, we can start to move columns around. If we want to hide columns, then using the Fields button along the View toolbar will allow me to start hiding columns in the data. And similarly, to unhide them, we can just go back into the same button. We can also sort the data. So for example, if I want to look at my highest selling products straight away, I can just simply left click on the sales column heading and it will sort all the data in the table from highest to lowest. Or again, if I click, it sorts it lowest to highest. And similarly it will do the same thing with alphabetical fields. So in subcategory, for example, where we have text in there, by left clicking it will sort it from highest to lowest and lowest to highest. If we want to put the data back to its original order, we can just go to the sort button, which is now highlighted on the view toolbar, clear the various sorts, and my table of data is now back into its original order. If I want to format the data within a column itself, then if I right click any column heading with the mouse, it brings up a tool menu. So just right clicking any column heading. So in this case I'm going to change the decimal places in this field. So by going to field options and then decimal places, I'm going to set this, in this case I'm going to set it to 1 decimal place. Equally, I might want to get rid of this comma or thousand separator in the number. So same thing again, right clicking the column heading and field options, and this allows me to do a whole load of things such as change decimal places, prefixes if I want to put pounds or dollars sign, and here I'm going to take off the thousand separator. So normally whenever we want to do something to the data, the content of the field, if we right click the column heading, it allows us to perform a number of operations. Sometimes we want to add columns and particularly formulae to our data, so we're going to do that in this case. Here I have a sales value and a units or volume measure, so I'm going to calculate the selling price of these products. So firstly I'm going to add a new column to the data. So if I right click any column heading, doesn't matter which one, right click the column heading again to bring up this same menu, and this time we're going to use the tools option and then insert new field. So I'm now going to give this new column a name, so I'm going to call it RSP for retail selling price, and it's now put in a blank new column for me. So now what I want to do is create a formula. If we're doing this in Excel, we do the sales column divided by units and it will calculate the selling price for us. We do exactly the same thing in Omniscope. So again, right clicking that new column heading to bring up the menu, and the bottom option there says change to formula field. Now in this case we're going to put a very simple formula in, which is sales divided by units, and we've now calculated the selling price for all of the products within our data. If you want to know more about using formulae and how to do more complex and advanced functions, there's another video within the Atheon series showing you how to use formulae within Omniscope. Finally, we're going to look at how we can group the data in a table. So if we want to create a sort of aggregated view or a summary table, so by using the group button, in this case I'm going to group my various products by their subcategory. And you can see now we've created a summarized table. And actually I'm going to add another level of grouping to this. So within each subcategory I also want to know the pack type of various products. And you can see now we've created a grouped table. If however you are interested in creating aggregated tables of data, then also have a look at the pivot view function within Omniscope, and again there's another training video available for that. And just using the table view, we can see an example here of 4 different ways of displaying exactly the same data. And in this case I'm using my summarized table to make a selection of data and to break that data down in other views. Now all of these more advanced techniques are taught on the Atheon Analytics Introduction to Omniscope training course. For more information about this, please email us on info@atheon.com or give us a call on 08444 145 501.